It's just after 6 in the morning on August 30, 2013. Karen and Michael Laspisa's doorbell rings at their home in Laguna Niguel, California. They've been up all night. Their 19-year-old son Bryce has been driving home from Sierra College, a trip that should have taken 8 hours. It has now taken more than 24. They go to the door expecting their son. Instead, a California Highway Patrol officer informs them that they have found Bryce's car. The rear window is shattered. His phone, laptop, and wallet are all inside. Bryce is not. His 2003 Toyota Highlander has gone down a 15-foot embankment near Main Ramp Road at Castaic Lake, discovered on its side. His phone had been plugged into the charger. There was no blood, no sign of struggle, no note, no Bryce. To understand what happened at Castaic Lake, you have to understand the 24 hours that led there, because those hours are the most important and most disturbing part of this case. On August 28, 2013, Bryce Laspisa made a decision. He left Sierra College in Rockland and drove to Chico to break up with his girlfriend. In the days leading up to his disappearance, friends had noticed he seemed withdrawn. He had been giving away his belongings, his Xbox, some clothes, and a pair of diamond earrings he had bought for his girlfriend. He told her to sell them if she ever needed money. When she asked why, he didn't give a clear answer. On the night of August 28, just 2 days before he vanished, he told her he loved her but that he felt stuck. After the breakup conversation, he decided to make the 500-mile journey home to see his parents. What should have been an 8-hour drive became something else entirely. On August 29, Karen received a notification from her insurance company that Bryce had called for roadside assistance in Buttonwillow in Kern County because he had run out of fuel. A service station owner delivered gas to him. Hours passed. Bryce still hadn't driven away. Karen called the service station owner and asked him to go back and check on Bryce. The owner found Laspisa still in the same location and, after speaking with him, encouraged him to continue his drive. He stayed anyway. A Kern County deputy eventually located him in the evening, only a short distance from where he had been sitting for hours. The officer checked in with Karen and told her that Bryce seemed fine. There were no signs of intoxication, and he searched the vehicle and did not find anything. A friend named Christian subsequently followed Laspisa to make sure he got back on the highway and drove behind him for about 10 miles. Karen and Mike stayed on the phone with Bryce throughout much of his drive. Laspisa apparently couldn't give them a clear answer about his location. He told his parents that there weren't any signs and that he wasn't sure where he was. At 2:08 a.m. on August 30th, Laspisa called his mother again and said he had pulled off Interstate 5 to rest because he was tired. He described the area as a residential neighborhood, though his exact location was unclear. Surveillance footage captured at 2:15 a.m. showed Bryce turning onto an access road rather than pulling off for a roadside nap. That is the last confirmed sighting of Bryce Laspisa. Search and rescue teams scoured the shoreline, trails, and campgrounds. Divers went into the lake. Cadaver dogs were brought in. Helicopters flew grid patterns overhead. Volunteers distributed flyers. Police dogs tracked his scent across a bridge to a nearby truck stop, where the trail went cold. They found nothing. No clothing. No footprints leading away from the vehicle. No signs that Bryce had wandered into the wilderness. On September 4, 2013, charred remains found near Castaic Lake were found not to belong to Bryce. 4 years later, a skull found off nearby Templin Highway was likewise ruled out. In 2022, a photograph of a man in Missoula, Montana, who resembled Laspisa circulated widely. A detective located the individual and confirmed he was not Laspisa. His mother told reporters, "I'll never give up hope, but it's really difficult. It's gut-wrenching, every day not knowing. It's a living nightmare." As of August 2023, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released an age-progressed image of Bryce at age 29, urging anyone with information to come forward. He stayed anyway. The Bryce Laspisa case is one of the most behaviorally complex disappearances we've covered on this channel, and I want to approach it with the care it deserves, because this is a real family still searching for their son. What the behavioral evidence shows is a young man in the 2 weeks before his disappearance exhibiting a pattern that mental health professionals identify as consistent with acute psychological crisis. Social withdrawal, giving away meaningful personal possessions, expressions of feeling stuck, without elaboration, inability to complete a routine task, and disorientation during what should have been a familiar drive. The 13-hour stop in Buttonwillow is the behavioral centerpiece of this case. A person who is simply tired or confused does not remain stationary for 13 hours on a highway shoulder after receiving gas, being checked on twice, being located by a police officer, and being personally escorted back to the highway by a friend. That behavior, the inability to move forward, the paralysis in place, is consistent with what crisis counselors describe as dissociative immobility, a psychological state in which a person becomes unable to make decisions or take actions, even simple ones, because the emotional weight of what they're facing has exceeded their capacity to process it. The giving away of possessions is the detail that investigators and behavioral analysts have focused on most heavily, and for good reason. It is a recognized behavioral indicator that appears in the clinical literature on pre-crisis states, the redistribution of valued objects as a form of settling accounts, of completing unfinished emotional business. None of this tells us what happened after the surveillance camera captured Bryce turning onto that access road at 2:15 in the morning. 3 theories remain. That he chose to disappear and start over, that he encountered someone after the crash, or that he did not survive. The absence of any physical evidence, no body, no clothing, no footprints leading away from the vehicle, makes every theory equally possible and equally unresolvable. What remains certain is this. A 19-year-old boy called his mother at 2 in the morning to say he was going to pull over and rest. She told him to lock his door, and then the world swallowed him whole. Karen Laspisa has never stopped searching. The case remains open.